Welcome to this space of contemplation. We are going to delve into one of life's greatest mysteries, a strange and somewhat painful paradox that many of us, especially as we cross the threshold of 55, are confronting. I call it the paradox of the peak. This is the feeling of emptiness after victory. You have spent 30, 40 years of your life climbing a ladder, executing a plan that society laid out for you. That plan included a successful career, a fine home, grown children, and a tidy retirement account. We are raised with the belief that upon achieving all of this, when we can finally relax, satisfaction and happiness will flow endlessly. And then that moment arrives. You retire or you slow down. You look around, and instead of complete contentment, there is a void, a quiet pause, a strange, inexplicable sense of unrest. It's not outright sadness, but a feeling of absence. It's like finishing a great novel, but when you close it, you don't know who you are without the main character, without that gripping plot. The car you always wanted is now parked securely, but that car no longer takes you anywhere important. You have the whole day free, but you spend it scrolling through the news, worrying about minor bills, or rushing into new hobbies, as if trying to fill a bottomless pit. You fought bravely. You contributed. And when the battle ends, you find yourself standing on the mountain peak, asking with a shudder, "Is this all there is? Who am I if I'm no longer what I did?" This is not personal whining. This is a deep existential philosophical question about the nature of purpose. And let me assure you, this feeling of emptiness is not failure. On the contrary, it is the door to awakening that is opening. The problem itself is not that you lack purpose, but that you are experiencing the death of an old identity. We must understand that modern society has taught us to build identity, or the ego, based on action and roles. You are not called a human being, you are called by a title, the executive, the teacher. These are social masks, uniforms that help us play the grand economic and social game. We have made the serious mistake of believing that we are that mask. When you retire, the mask is removed. The light shines upon your bare face. You are seeing a naked truth. You yourself are not your role. Imagine a great actor who must take off his royal robes and crown when the play ends, finding himself just an ordinary person in the dressing room. That feeling of emptiness is the old shell cracking. It is the shattering of the belief that your life ends at the business card you carefully preserve. This breakdown is painful, lonely, but it is the greatest opportunity to discover the person you truly are. You are not broken down to collapse. You are broken open. This emptiness occurs most often to the successful because they have lived their lives in a state called fleeing. Most of us work, not because we love the work, but because we are afraid. Afraid of poverty, afraid of judgment, afraid of falling behind. And deeper still, non-stop action is a distraction from the truth that you will die. When you are busy, you don't have time to contemplate your finitude. You have spent your life running from the shadow of failure, running towards the goal called security. And when you stop, that shadow appears. It is ridiculous. Life is not a race to reach the finish line safely and neatly. Life is meant to be skidded into, thoroughly exhausted, laughing all the way. It is a dance, not a march. When you dare to wake up, the fear of poverty or meaninglessness loses its fangs. You naturally slow down. You stop tearing up the present moment for the sake of an assumed future. This is genuine health of the spirit. You spent your whole life buying back something that is now granted to you for free, leisure time. This is a great gift of life, but you are fumbling, not knowing what to do with it. Remember the story of the fisherman and the businessman. The businessman advises the fisherman to work, get rich, and then retire to take naps and play with his children. The fisherman smiles. That is what I am doing right now. The goals everyone pursues were already available right here, in this breath, but we lost the ability to see them. The emptiness you feel is because you are trying to fill leisure time with the activities of your old identity. You are still trying to do something to feel valuable. But true value is not found in doing. It is found in simply being. Your value is your life, your breath, your consciousness, not your title or your to-do list. When the role mask is removed, you have the rare opportunity to meet your real self. This real self cannot be defined by possessions or actions. You are the awareness in which having and not having, success and failure, appear and disappear just like clouds in the sky. Clouds come and go, but the sky remains. The sky is never impoverished because a cloud passes by. The sky is never lacking. The emptiness is teaching you that you are the sky, and your value is not measured by the clouds. Beyond the loss of identity, what is truly unsettling us at this stage? It is the inevitable confrontation with death and the question of legacy. We fear the end because we believed we were a separate entity, a story that must be completed. But Eastern philosophy and existentialism teach us the opposite. You are not a clock running down to the final minute. You are a wave of the ocean of life. The wave ends, but the ocean remains. Fear is only the final echo of the ego trying to cling to separate existence. When you realize that your life is an inseparable part of the cosmic flow, that fear dissolves. So, how do we leave a meaningful legacy when we no longer have a role to fulfill? The answer lies in redefining the very concept of legacy. Most people try to leave a legacy in material form, a company, an asset. The true legacy is not what you owned, but what you created in others. Your legacy is your present. You don't need to write a great book. You only need to listen genuinely. You don't need to build a monument. You only need to be fully present when you play with your grandchildren, when you brew a pot of tea, or when you watch a flower bloom. That presence, the stillness and wisdom you have accumulated, is the most invaluable gift. It does not require a title. It only requires peace. When you stop running, you become a source of stillness. That is when you begin to transmit your wisdom and peace naturally. You are no longer doing a legacy. You are the legacy. Your serenity is the greatest lesson you can pass on. If you are feeling empty or restless at this stage of life, please do not view it as a failure. View it as a sacred transition. You are learning how to live with very little and still feel completely wealthy. This stage is like the story of the snake shedding its skin. Your old identity is peeling away. Yes, it is uncomfortable, but you cannot unknow what you have known. The only way to get through is to move forward by accepting this temporary vulnerability. So, what is the philosophical advice for this transition? First, stop struggling. Stop trying to fill the void with meaningless activities to prove you are still useful. You have proven enough. Second, live simply. Act from love rather than from fear. And here is the experiment I encourage you to start today. The experiment of anonymity. Do something good for someone else, or for the community that no one knows is you. Act without needing a compliment, a title, or any external recognition. When you do this, you are training your mind that the value of the action lies within the action itself. You are moving from doing to be, somebody to doing, simply because you are. It is in that anonymity that you will discover pure joy, uncontaminated by the need to maintain a social identity. Finally, trust. Trust that the intelligence that created your body from a single cell, the intelligence that keeps your heart beating and your lungs breathing, will never abandon you. The meaning of life is life itself, the act of breathing, seeing, feeling. You have done that. You cannot fail at living. You are living, you are awakening, and in this very moment, you are the wealthiest person who has ever lived. This peace cannot be bought. If these contemplations resonate with you, please gently press the subscribe and like buttons so we can continue to explore the other mysteries of life together. Thank you for listening.